Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another weird, unique video from our channel. So, if you're a big TMNT fan, then you would have seen the 2007 TMNT movie that, well, it came out in 2007. And many people do have mixed opinions on this movie. Me personally, I do quite enjoy it, and I thought that maybe one of the reasons was because I did grow up on this movie. But I feel like maybe another reason why, and maybe the main reason why I enjoy this movie so much, is because of the games. And while there was only a few games released for this movie, to say the very least, they were all really good in their own ways, and I thought it would be a good idea to take a look back at these games and really see which one holds up against the standard time, and as well as ranking which one is the best and which one is the worst. But before we do get into that, I would like to hear what you have to say about these games in the comments below. Which one do you like more? Which one do you like less? Do you hate one? Do you not like one? Have you played all of them? I'm quite curious to see what people think about these games, just because I don't think many people do know about these ones, except from the big main one. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this one. Let's go! If you do like this content and want to see more from this channel, please do make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment, and all that good stuff. Now let's get on with the video. Okay, so number 4 on my list, I'll have to give it to Smash Up. Now, the reason why I'm giving it so low on the list, and it's not because I hate the game, it's actually quite the opposite. I mean, I love the game. This is one of the many games I used to play as a kid non-stop. Well, I wouldn't really say non-stop because I did play other games. But still, nonetheless, this was one of the games which I played quite a lot as a kid. I loved all the aspects about it, the 2007 designs with 2003 voices, the settings, location, the fighting. There was just so much about this game which I do really love. And I would say that this game does hold up really well. The only problem is with this game is that if you're playing by yourself, then it can get a bit boring after like 2-3 matches. But if you're playing with a friend, then it can be a bit more fun, but overall it's not really too much more fun, but it's still fun nonetheless. But the reason why I'm putting it so low on the list is just because, well, I'm not too sure if this really counts as a 2007 game. And the reason why I say that is because even though it has the 2007 designs and stuff like that, art style, it doesn't have the 2007 voice actors. So I'm not exactly too sure if it's trying to be a combination of the two, or there was something mixed up in terms of the art style, or what, but it just seems really weird with what went down with this. I mean, I love it to bits, and I love the voice acting, the everything about it, but I'm not too sure this really does count as a 2007 game, 2003 game, or if it's just a game that is just set within its own different universe or thing. So if it was had 2007 cast, this game would be so high up on the list. But because of this, I would have to put it so low on the list. And if anything, I was actually going to put this in like an honourable mention sort of thing, just because I didn't know where it would actually properly go. Okay, so next up on my list, which is number 3, I would have to give it to the Game Boy Advance game. Now, this game I never grew up on as a kid, as I never had a Game Boy, but I had the opportunity to play it a few years ago, or I think it was like last year, and that's when I was recording it for my channel, and I enjoyed it, I would say. I feel like there's enough in there for you to lose like an hour or two, like travelling somewhere, or just being by yourself for an hour or two, just playing the game and then beating it. I do think this game is quite, it's really fun to play. It's really simple in terms of what you have to do, just like a side-scrolling game with beat 'em up sort of thing. And I think this sort of aspect really works for a Telltale's game, and it does look really nice. I think it's a really good game. However, the only thing is that there's only 6 stages, and they're all fairly short, I would say. I think one of the longest ones, I think like maybe it was 20 minutes, 15, it was something like that. So like there's not really too much to do in the game, because after you've done all the levels, you can do things like 3 mini games, but after you've done those, there's not really too much you can do. And when you got the main character who you're playing as is Raphael, it's just really weird with what went down in this game. I do feel like if they did have more levels to this game, and you was able to play as different tools more often than just playing as Raph or the Night Watcher, then I would say that this game is a really good game. But I do feel like this game is probably going to be lost at the end of times, just because this one's not really as popular, but it's still fun nonetheless. But yeah, Okay, so number 2 on my list, and this one I remember so well from my childhood, was the Nintendo DS, but some people played it on the PSP, so I'm not exactly too sure what device it probably goes on. But I have fond memories of this game, playing it, getting it for my birthday, playing it non-stop. I mean, I don't know how I was able to get quite a few years worth of game out of this game, when in reality I should have only played it like once, maybe twice, and that should be it. But somehow I kept on playing it, so yikes. Yeah. Now, what I do feel like is the downfall of this game, as well as the next game we'll be talking about, is the fact that this game is more of a parkour game than a Ninja Turtle game. Now, while you do have some little scenes where you can go and fight pole dragons, the foot ninjas, and some bosses, it is very, I don't want to say bad, but at the same time I just want to say it's very repetitive. I mean, all you do is just press a button to jump and stuff like that. I do feel like if this game was to have more variety in terms of what you could do in the game, instead of jumping and then every so often find a bad guy, this game would be so much higher up on my list. But at least with this game, unlike the Game Boy Advance game, there is like 15 levels, so there is quite a lot to do within this game. But because of just because of how much parkour you have to do within this game, it just brings this game down quite a bit, and it doesn't really feel like a Turtle game whatsoever. It just feels like a parkour game slapped with the TMNT brand and going against some of the characters from that movie that is slightly based on the movie, but I mean, in reality, it's not really, it's just a parkour game. And that is a real shame, because as a kid, like I said, I really did enjoy this game. I play it so much, and to come back to it now, a lot older, it is all disappointing, but at least I have those memories with me. Okay, so for number 1, it would have to be the TMNT 2007 game for, oh god, what machines did it go on? The PS2, Xbox 360, I think maybe Xbox, what other ones? PC, the Wii. Yeah, this game went on quite a lot of consoles, to say the very least, and I do enjoy this one. This is another game like the last one, where I remember playing it so much as a kid. I mean, there's an option to see how long you've been playing the game for, in terms of how many hours you spent. I'm sort of scared to go and look how many hours I've actually spent on it, because yikes, I thought that's maybe best left said to the imagination, but yikes. Yeah, this game is a lot of fun, I would say. However, it does feel a lot more like the Nintendo 3DS, not Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo DS game, where you're just doing a lot of parkour, and then every so often you'll fight a bad guy, with more of a story to do with the 2007 movie. Now, while this one does focus more on the 2007 movie in terms of nearly going for the actual movie itself in terms of the story, but we've added levels which don't really add too much to the actual movie or the story, or even expanding on certain things such as what Turtles were doing before the whole movie started, or how Raphael was able to find out about winters and stuff like that. There was like a lot of good stuff within this game, I do feel like, but I feel like because it was a parkour game, it really brings down the whole game quite a lot. And that is quite disappointing, because like once again, I played this game as a kid and I enjoyed it, but having the opportunity to play it now and playing it, it was sort of frustrating and sort of annoying. I mean, all we're doing was just jumping, and then fight, and then jumping, and then like sometimes it'll be quite hard to do some like jumps and all that sort of stuff, and then some of the game mechanics wouldn't really work too well, as it would make you die. I know that I'm going in more negatives for this game, but I remember playing this one the most, and I did have the most fun playing this game. I just think there was something about this game that you could like keep repeating the levels over and over again to keep trying to beat your high score and stuff like that. I mean, I mainly did play the first 4 levels over and over again, or mainly the first 2, but even so, I remember playing those ones as a kid. I do love the game so much. But it's just a shame that this one was more of a parkour game than an actual TMNT game. If it was to do more of a TMNT game, then I feel like this one would be so much better than what it initially is. But yeah, that's my list for the 2007 TMNT games. I'm quite interested to hear what you have to say about the games in the comments below. Do you like them? Do you not? Have you played some of these? Do you even remember some of these ones? Do you even know that some of these existed? So yeah, this is going to be an interesting video in terms of the comments, in terms of what people have to say about it. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. If you do love this one, please share, like, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.